Hey, what's up? This is Bobby, aka Paginator, and I am here with a massive book outlet unboxing slash haul. Technically a haul, yes, because the box is already open. Anyway, I am here to show off the insane amount of books that I purchased from Book Outlet. You can't show me a website full of very low priced books and expect me to not buy a whole lot. So, if you're not familiar with Book Outlet, it is a great website that has overstocked books, so they sell for reduced prices, and they also have some that are a little scratch and dents that are even cheaper, and you can go and browse for what your particular interest is in reading. They may not have every exact book that you are looking for, but they may have the one that's just right for you. So let's get started, shall we? The first two books that I'm going to show you are Paint by Sticker books. These are super fun books, but they take some careful thought on how much you should do at one time, because basically how it works is that you are going through and adding teeny tiny little stickers to these pictures to help complete the picture, and the stickers are very small, so it kind of can cramp your hand a little bit. So don't spend like 9 hours doing them. Maybe do a couple and see how your hand's feeling before you move on. But anyway, the two that I got are masterpieces, so they're artworks, and then this one is to do with travel. Now, they had one that has David Bowie's face on the cover, and after I placed the order, I saw that one and I went, crap, why didn't I get that one? So that might be in a future haul at some point after I run out of Paint by Stickers books to work on. These are great things to do while you're watching a movie or listening to an audiobook, so fun to work with. All right, up next, I have A Midsummer Night, #NoFilter. This is part of a series that has been coming out mostly with Shakespeare, but some with Jane Austen and some other classics, where they're retold in text and emojis. And they are super fun. I haven't read this one yet. It takes me, maybe an hour to get through one of these. I read the Pride and Prejudice one, and I was bawling laughing. And I've read the Hamlet one, and Macbeth, I think, is the other one. Anyway, Midsummer Night's Dream is one of my favorite Shakespeare plays, so I'm super excited to read through this little retelling. All right, up next, this was an impulse buy. I have various issues, part of them being a compulsion to buy books, if you can't tell. But one of the things that I'm kind of OCD about is the number 5. And I had 24 books in my shopping cart, and that was really bothering me. I wanted it to be a multiple of 5. So this was my book number 25. And if you're thinking 25 books, holy crap. Yeah, that's a lot of books. But guess what? The whole thing cost the price of about 3 or 4 brand new hardbacks at a regular bookstore. So actually not too bad. But anyway, this is I Text Dead People by Rose Cooper, and I haven't even looked inside to see if there's a lot of text messages. Okay, so I just randomly opened it up to chapter 12, and there are a few text messages, and there's also some little illustrations. I do teach middle schoolers, and they really love these kind of books because they're all about the texting. So I'm imagining that they're going to want to read this pretty soon. All right, the next book I got is one that I actually read, but I had borrowed it from the local library and had to give it back to them. So when I saw that Book Outlet had a copy in hardback, I thought, yes, I need this. This is What Light by Jay Asher. This is just a beautiful, cute, contemporary romance story about a girl whose family actually runs a Christmas tree farm, and she ends up falling for a boy that works on one of their farms that they travel to in the height of the sale season. And it's just a sweet, sweet story. Really, really loved it. All right. Up next, I have a book that one of my coworkers has been wanting me to read for quite a while. And so again, when I saw it was on Book Outlet for a very good price, I went ahead and got it. And it is The Serpent King. I don't really know a whole lot about it. Jeff Sentner is the author. And I know that it's something to do with oh gosh. The I'm forgetting already what my coworker told me, but there's something about a Pentecostal minister who urges Dill, the main character, to handle poisonous rattlesnakes, and there's bullies, and his father has very extreme faith, but a very public fall from grace. So it seems like it's kind of a story about Dill and his coming of age, but he does have some other friends. And one of them is a girl who has an edgy fashion blog. So there's just different things happening in this book. So I definitely can give you more information after I've read it. But one thing that's really cool, and I don't know if you can see it in the video very well, there's these little shiny diamonds, kind of like snake scales, that are on the cover. So you maybe can see it as I turn the book back and forth, that they kind of catch the light for a second, which is just pretty. Okay, what do I have next? Aha. Pies and Prejudice. I have no idea what this is about, but it's got to be a Jane Austen spinoff, and it looks super cute. This is one that's a scratch and dent, and the only thing that I can see that's wrong with it is this little part of the jacket is lifting up. Piece of Scotch tape, or even library tape, and I am good to go. Right there. So just a quick peek. This is about a girl named Emma who unexpectedly, her family moves to England, and the girls in the mother-daughter book club still find a way to continue their book club, and they're going to be reading Pride and Prejudice. This sounds interesting. I haven't read a book about a book club since I read the Jane Austen book club, and I loved that one, so hopefully we'll love that one too. Okay, the next two I'm going to hold up together. We have Ice Like Fire and Frost Like Night by Sarah Rash. And these are part of, or is it Rash, whatever. These are part of this series that begins with Snow Like Ashes. And I read Snow Like Ashes and really, really liked it a lot. So I'm super excited to read the next two. All right, this book is another scratch and dent, and it just has a little flappy on the front cover. No big deal. But you get like $2, $3, $4, sometimes dollars off just because there's something wrong with it. It's not perfect. Good deal, right? So I ended up getting the program, and I've heard Emma from Emma Books talk about this book so much and just rave about it and how much she really loved it. I'm sure she would be proud of me for purchasing this book from Book Outlet. This is about kids who go into a treatment center who are at risk of suicide, I believe. And there's something going wrong because the memories of these kids are also being gone, in addition to their depression and anxiety, what they're suffering with. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to pick a good time to read it, though, because I suffer from depression and anxiety myself. I don't want to trigger myself into being very, very emotional. So we'll hold that off for a very good time. All right, the next book I got is Bitter Blue. This is the third book in the Graceling Realm series, and it goes Graceling, Fire, and then Bitter Blue, I believe. I haven't read Fire yet, and I didn't buy that one because I wasn't thinking. I read Graceling, but I had the library's copy, so I didn't buy that one either. What was I thinking? But anyway, look how pretty the cover for Bitter Blue is. It's blue and purple and shiny, and it's got keys on it, and it's super fun. So this is the picture of the cover of Fire. It's red, and then if you don't know Graceling, it's green, and all the covers are really pretty and very the same theme as far as the artwork goes. All right. Next book I have is A Whole New World, and this is a twisted tale on Aladdin, of course. Liz Braswell has been doing a lot of these. She did a Beauty and the Beast one, and I think I may have seen another one on there of Book Outlet from her. So if you like a good retelling, and especially maybe a Disney retelling, check out Liz Braswell. All right, up next, I got Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. I have a whole lot of Cassandra Clare books. I have all the Mortal Instruments. I have all the Dark Artifices. I have the Bane Chronicles, and now I have this one. What I don't have is Lady Midnight in that series, but I have time. I mean, maybe I'll just wait for the third one to come out and then binge read those ones. I'm reading Clockwork Angel now because, if you can believe this, I haven't read the Dark Artifices yet. I know. I started reading it last night and I couldn't put it down. I finally made myself go to bed because I had to teach today, and I was finding little moments during the day, like when my students were working on things and didn't need me directly over their shoulder, to pull out Clockwork Angel and read a few pages. So I'm about 70 pages in right now between last night and sneaking a few pages here and there at school. I fully anticipate to finish it over the weekend, and if I love the whole book as much as I'm loving the beginning already, I'll probably binge read the whole series at one time. We shall see what happens. And then I can read this one. All right, I still have lots more to go. These are all paperback choices. I've been through all the ones that are hardbacks. I've been on this paperback thing lately. I don't know why, because usually I really love to get the hardbacks because they're much prettier and they're hardbacks. But lately I've been like, I really like a floppy paperback book. And I found they're really good for something. When your students are being kind of naughty and off task, you can take a paperback book and smack it down on the desk and it makes a really good cracking sound, and they're like, what's going on? What's Miss Page doing? And then I can say, get back to work. It's very handy. I tried that today actually on a group of kids and it worked very well. All right, back to more paperback. Sorry for the little side note, but if any of you out there are teachers, you now have a tip. Okay, so Siren Song by Mary Wibber. I noticed this because of the cover. We oftentimes see covers of girls in dresses and stuff, but not always do we see this beautiful bright emerald green. And that really caught my eye. And then I noticed that this was about a girl named Nim, and then there's a character named Dre Wolf that she battles with. And so, kind of dumb, but based on the green and the character names, I'm like, this is worth giving a try because I think this one was only like $3. So, heck, might as well. All right, this is The Great American Whatever by Tim Federle. And this, I gotta remind myself because I remember reading the synopsis online. This is about a boy named Quinn who's 16, and he liked to make movies with his sister, but there was a car accident that changed everything, and I am guessing that his sister is gone. I don't know for sure, but I'm kind of guessing that that's what's happening. All right. Next, we have The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. And this is another one that the cover caught my eye because it's just different than a lot of times what we see with young adult fiction. And I don't remember what this was about. I think it's a high school realistic, like contemporary story. I'll let you know more after I read it. All right, here's another one that is green, and I apologize for the like lots of green, but the Midsummer Night's Dream one was green, and Siren Song was green, and now we're looking at Unraveled. This is Jennifer Albin, and it says on the little blurb at the top, autonomous, independent, dangerous, they tried to control her, now she'll destroy them. If you have a kick-butt girl main character, I am immediately intrigued. And there's weird insects and strange buildings in the lower part. And so it's just making me wonder what the heck is going on. So there we go. All right, this one is actually an audiobook that I've listened to many times and just really wanted to have a paper or a physical copy of this. This is Hattie Ever After by Kirby Larson. This is a sequel to Hattie Big Sky, and if you're not familiar with this series, it's so beautiful. It's about a girl who inherits some land from an uncle, I believe it is, and she has to go to the territory. I forget if it's Montana. Yes, it is Montana, which, you know, Big Sky, Montana. But I wanted to make sure I was telling you the right thing. Anyway, she goes to prove up this farm, and by prove up, she has to make certain improvements during this time, or the land isn't hers. And so the first book is about her struggle to survive, and then this one, Hattie Ever After, you can see the trolley behind her. She actually travels to a city to seek out some friends and discover some different things. So, and you can tell by her outfit that we're getting into more of the later times. I want to say in the 20s, because she runs into like a vaudeville performer and some different characters there. So, excellent book. Kirby Larson is a great writer. Okay, The next two books are copies of Jane Austen's works that I just thought had super cute covers. And when I first started reading Jane Austen, I did the dumb thing and got the big bind up from Borders bookstore that wasn't even pretty, like the Barnes & Noble one. And so I just had all of her books in this great big giant chunk, which isn't very handy when you want to just have a book to put in your purse or something like that. So I've been slowly picking up individual copies of her individual books. And so the two that I have now to show you are Northanger Abbey and Love and Friendship. Love and Friendship isn't my absolute favorite of hers. I would prefer to read her main 6 novels. But, you know, it's Jane Austen. It's a pretty cover. It was like $2-3. And Northanger Abbey looks really cute too. Northanger Abbey is one of the, it's kind of, for me anyway, the Jane Austen book that kind of sticks out from the other 5 in her core 6 novels, just because it's got that gothic element to it, and you know, of course there's Mr. Tilney, who's such a flirt that he makes it all worthwhile. He's just a fun character to read, but it's just kind of different from the other ones, but it's still awesome because it's Jane Austen. All right, now this next one is kind of a big deal. You might not believe this considering that I teach middle schoolers. I work with teenagers all the time, and I've been collecting books for years. This is the first Sarah Dessen book that I have ever owned. Is that horrible? I got Saint Anything. I thought it's about time that I get a Sarah Dessen book, and this is one that they had there, so I chose to get this one. And this is about a girl named Sydney who kind of lives her life in the shadows and lets other people be the center of attention, but her brother ends up getting sent to jail because of a terrible accident, and so her family's in the public eye. And so she has to cope with that and find ways to get through her life while trying to figure out a way to be safe and secure. And I'm really intrigued by this. What does this have to do with Sydney and her story? I don't know, but I shall find out. My stack is getting really tall. Okay, 4 books left. Can you believe that I got this many books for like $77, I think it was? Yeah, crazy. All right, I got another Richelle Mead book, Soundless. Now, I haven't read Richelle Mead in a while. It's been a long time since I read anything by her, and this cover looks so beautiful, and it's just, like, the picture on there even is intriguing. Like, who is this girl? What's she doing with these sleeves? Why can't I wear clothes like that? So you can just swoop through life and amaze people. This says, in a village without sound, one girl hears a call to action and unlocks a power that could save her people. This is blurbed by Margaret Stahl, and she says, every bit is delicately carved as one of Faye's beloved chrysanthemums. Soundless resonates with the sort of love in life that only happens in the hands of a master. That Richelle Mead has perfect pitch shouldn't surprise anyone, yet this story will surprise everyone. That's interesting. In a village without sound. I am intrigued. Oh gosh, my phone's ringing in the other room. I don't want to go answer it right now. Okay, 3 more books. For Darkness Shows the Stars by Deanna Peterfront. I read her book Rampant that was about the vicious unicorns, I think it was, quite a while ago, and really liked her storytelling. And so I just went by author on this one. This one is called You Can't Sit With Us, Mean Girl Makeover by Nancy Rue. And it's, the little phrase up here says, an honest look at bullying from the victim. So because I'm such a fan of Mean Girls, the phrase, you can't sit with us, caught my attention first. But then I thought, you know what, this is really, if this is like an anti-bullying themed book, this is perfect for my students because, you know, middle school is like the bullying time of life. It's horrifyingly awful. All right, the last book at the bottom of my stack, the last one to show you, is The Dolls by Kiki Sullivan. It says, boys want them, girls want to be them, someone wants them dead. And we've got this interesting shoe with snake elements. The shoe itself looks like snake skin, and then this looks like a snake swirly curlied around the shoe. Yeah. A shoe is a good reason to buy a book, right? A pretty shoe on the cover. I don't know. Sorry, those were some scary faces I made there. All right. So that's about it for this book haul. Hopefully tomorrow my Owl Crate and my bookish boxes will be showing up, and maybe even my order from Book Depository. I almost said suppository. That's quite another thing. Oh goodness. Book Depository. I am hoping to get that box tomorrow as well. We shall see. I hope you are having a wonderful and bookish day. Happy reading. Adios.